All right, let's get into it. Mechatronics Engineering. We're talking about a future being built, right? Like
Yeah.
one smart system at a time. And you know what? You all sent us a ton of stuff on this. RoleCatcher, their career guide, interview prep, all of that. Looks like someone's ready to go from like just interested to actually doing this.
And it's a great time for it, too. Forget the whole robots taking over thing, right? This is about making lives better, easier. Think like self-driving cars or those surgical robots, helping doctors be even more precise.
Yeah, it's like taking the cool stuff from the movies, making it real. But this RoleCatcher guide, it doesn't mess around. Mechatronics engineers, they're blending mechanical, electrical, computer stuff, and control engineering. That's a lot.
It is, and that's kind of the point, isn't it? You're not just coding away in a corner, you're designing the brains and the muscle. Take that control engineering bit. That's what keeps things running smoothly, safely. Like imagine a robot arm, right, in a factory. It's got to move perfectly, but also stop P instantly if something goes wrong. That's control engineering.
Huh. Never thought about it like that. Giving machines, like, reflexes, but way more complex. So it's not even just building something awesome, it's building it right. No wonder this RoleCatcher guide says these jobs are in demand.
Yeah, and it's only going to get bigger, this whole field. I mean, the World Economic Forum, they're predicting a shortage of like 85 million tech workers by 2025. Globally. Mechatronics is right in the thick of that. Companies need people who can do both the classic engineering and the latest tech.
Okay, so that's exciting, but also kind of intimidating. What's it mean for someone just starting out? This guide mentions a lot of skills, but is it all like hardcore coding and calculus?
Those help, but it's bigger. Think about designing a system, right, for a self-driving car. You need the mechanics of the car itself, the electronics powering it, software making the decisions, and the environment it's driving in. Problem solving big time.
Like a detective, but instead of crimes, it's engineering puzzles.
Exactly. And get this role catcher guide, they list active listening as a top skill. You'd be surprised how important communication is, even with all this tech.
Really? Why is that?
You're almost never working alone. It's other engineers, clients who don't speak tech, even the people using what you build. If you can't listen, really understand their needs, that's as bad as writing bad code.
Makes sense. Robot that doesn't get its own purpose,
Yeah.
that's just an expensive paperweight.
You got it. So say you're convinced you want to jump into mechatronics. Where do you even start? This role catcher guide, it actually does a good job showing the different stages of a career.
Oh, perfect. Let's break that down, then maybe circle back to how to actually get those jobs.
It's a journey, right? Entry level, you're kind of like, I guess, an apprentice. Learning from the pros, getting into the nitty-gritty, lots of soaking it all up, proving yourself.
So no handing over the keys to the robot factory right away. But you work your way up. Junior, then senior levels. What's that like?
That's where it gets fun. Not just following orders anymore, you're leading the projects, the decisions, yours. And I've got to mentor the newbies, the ones you used to be. Problems get way more complex, too. We're talking technical hurdles, sure, but budgets, deadlines, real-world stuff.
So people skills matter just as much as the tech skills, I bet. That whole active listening thing, probably even more important.
100%. You're conducting the orchestra now, everyone in sync, playing their part, and then, well, there's the top of the mountain, right? Principal level.
Reach the mechatronics peak. What's the view like?
It's beyond just building the future, it's deciding what gets built, which tech is worth it, trends, the whole picture, decisions that could change an industry.
Wow. Not just engineer anymore. You're like predicting the future. No pressure or anything.
Gotta have that broad view, deep understanding of how it all fits together, the mechanics, electrics, all of it. But that's the thrill, eh? Always learning, new problems, new frontiers.
Speaking of which, I'm curious, what does RoleCatcher guide say about nailing those mechatronics interviews? Because skills are one thing, but the interview itself can make or break it.
Oh, they had good stuff. Big thing, practice answering the typical questions, not just memorizing, but like showing you can think it through, explain the mechatronics side of it.
So not just, here's the textbook definition of a control system, but more like, here how I understand it, how it works in the real world.
Exactly. Like they ask, how would you design this whole system? Got to walk them through it. The mechanical bits, electrical software, how it all connects.
Can't just design one part in isolation.
Yeah.
Right? It's got to work together.
Exactly. That's where explaining your process clearly, that's key. Oh, and another tip, have examples ready from your projects. Stuff you've actually done.
So like instead of, I'm a great problem solver, it's more like, remember that robot I built, the one that could navigate a maze just using sensors? Yeah, that was all about.
Exactly. Show, don't tell, right? Bring it to life.
Yeah.
And they were big on this Gotta show you can adapt, learn new stuff fast, because mechatronics, it changes constantly.
Yeah, no, staying in your lane, doing the same thing forever.
Nope. They even said interviewers want to see that you're curious, like you actually want to tackle the brand new stuff. Sometimes the best answer is, I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
Huh. I like that. Almost like you're interviewing them at that point. Can they keep up with you?
That's the energy, right? It's got to be there. That drive to create, to solve, to push what's possible. Maybe you, listening, you'll design the first self-aware robot. Or the spaceship to Mars. Who knows?
Okay, now I'm really fired up. This has been, I don't know, kind of changed how I see this whole thing. Mechatronics engineers, it's not just the gadgets. It's like you're building the future, but smart. With like actual thought put into it.
It is, yeah. And the possibilities are wide open. We need these smart systems more and more. Mechatronics is going to touch everything.
Front row seat to a revolution, practically. And to think all this started because someone sent in some RoleCatcher stuff. Man, what a deep dive.
Glad we could share it all.
So to anyone out there thinking about this mechatronics, if you like solving problems, if tech and being creative, that's your thing, and you want to build a smarter future, this might be it. This might be your calling.
Go for it. And hey, maybe someday we'll be deep diving into your work.
And that's a wrap on Mechatronics Engineering. Hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop asking, what if?